Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly blessed that you join us on today because God has a special coaching tip just for you. We're excited about all of the people that are members of our Action Coaching family who tune in each and every week to hear what God has to say concerning being coached in your life. Every one of us need a coach. We need a mentor, someone to guide us along the way. Not necessarily to change who we are, but just to help us to bring the best out of us so that we can experience great things. And so I'm certainly excited about Action Coaching. I certainly want to encourage you to reach out to others and let them know the Action Coaching is on the air and they need to be a part of these exciting coaching sessions. We give you coaching tips. We don't have time in this short time that we're together to dive deep into everything, but of course, we want you to know that you can reach out to us via social media, of course, all of the Word in Action Ministries outlet, and let us know if it's something you want us to get deep into concerning action coaching, and perhaps we'll take a whole session and do just that. We will be delighted to further coach you so you can experience the great things that God has in store for you. Now this week, I want to talk about grow up. Yes, a lot of us have heard that term, grow up, but very few people want to do it. But however, growth is necessary. Growth is powerful. And you can grow as big as your individual desire is to grow big. So it's exciting about growing up. But along with growing up, there are certain things that are going to have to take place in order for you to grow up. So I want to give you some points concerning grow up, and then perhaps you can apply that to your life and learn that growing up is going to open up a brand new world to you, all because you decide to grow. Now, first of all, with growing up, you got to remember, all of us start out as a seed, both figuratively and it's a possibility too that we all start as a seed. We're born when the male seed impregnates the woman's seed, and thus you have a birth. All of us come here as a baby, but we started as a seed. Now, one thing we do have in the world is we have an awful lot of people who think they're grown and have not went through the process of growing up. Yes, it's hard to teach people things when they think they're grown and they've already experienced it and they just want to skip some steps. They just want to just go from birth to being grown, skip all the other things in between, and they good. But however, it does not work that way. So in growing up, we got to understand we all start as a seed. Whatever your gift and talent is, you started off as a seed. You're in seed form. So that means when you're in seed form, there's certain things you got to have. You got to have watering. You got to have some care from someone that's older than you. Because you're in seed form, you don't know. I mean, a baby will eventually drive, but I'm not going to get the keys to a car when the baby is a baby. Baby don't know what to do with a full-size car when it is a baby. I realize that through the right process, that baby will potentially be able to drive not only that car, but other cars, and in some cases, do it as a profession. But it don't happen when you're in seed form. So let's talk about what I mean in seed form. First of all, you never stop learning. People think they're too old to learn, because when people think they're too old to learn, they think they done learned everything. But I'm here to let you know in this world, there are surprises every day. You run into things you didn't even know exist, that you are just now finding out about. When I was a kid, in the seed form. Well, I never traveled outside of the particular state that we were staying in. Matter of fact, when I was in that form, I got excited about us just going to the mall or some amusement park on the week because I was in seed form and had not yet grown to understand that there are bigger and better things that exist in the world. And so it is sometimes when people don't feel like they need coaching and they don't need nobody to help them, or they know everything. They so smart, I know everything, and they don't understand. You just in seed form of your success. That's why God got people that have went so much further than you'll ever go. But however He uses them to teach you that you can make it through the seed form in your life. Now, just like any seed that is planted, when it began to grow, it began to sprout different things. If it's a flower, it began to grow other branches that flowers can grow on. If it's an apple tree, then eventually it's going to grow limbs and it's got apples on it, and different gifts and talents begin to come out. Now, as you begin to grow, that means you got to move from seed form to another level. The reason most Christians and most people are not successful in life because they don't want to continue growing. They reach one place and feel like that's all it is. And I don't want to hear that else. I want to stay right here in this place, and you cannot do it because you got to continue to grow. If you don't continue to grow, you're going to miss a whole lot of things in your life. And so that's why we talk about grow up. Now, in growing up, there are going to be things that's said to you as you grow a little bit that were not said to you as a baby. And a lot of times what hinders people from growing up is that they're so immature they can't take the hard truths that come along with you growing. In other words, you're going to grow as fast as you can take the hard truths. All of us in life need somebody to tell us the hard truths. Tell us that you ain't all you think you are. You ain't all of that, as they said, a bag of chips. One quote they said, there are things you still got to learn. Some things you think you're doing good, there are some people that are doing it so much better, they can make you look like you never learned anything. So you got to deal with hard truth. In order to be successful, in order to grow up and be what I become, I had to deal with hard truths. I had to embrace them, not reject them. Don't fight the truth. Accept the hard truth. Take it and learn how to grow. A lot of people don't want you to tell them the hard truth because they refuse to grow up. Some people can be 15, 16, 17 years old and still want you to talk to them like they're 7 years old or 6 years old because they just refuse to grow up. They will avoid issues where they don't have to grow. But anybody that want to grow up got to accept the hard truths. Hard truths like you got to get better if you want more. You got to stop acting like a child and crying over every single thing. Don't take everything personally. There will be some criticism of whatever you're doing, but the criticism only make you strive more for excellence. You got to deal with the hard truth. As I was growing up in the ministry, and ultimately to what God had designed for us to do, then I understood that there were some hard truths I had to accept. Meaning, like, I realized that I might be doing something well, but I had to move toward people that was doing it even better to help me deal with the hard truth. And I was so excited about it that as I began to deal with those hard truths, things began to get much better in my life. I began to grow. I began to mature. I began to laugh over what used to make me cry. I laughed so hard because I'm trying to figure out, why did that make me cry at that particular time? No, because I understood I had to deal with hard truths. And certainly I was excited about it. So growing up is necessary. Growing up is what we need to do. Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Welcome back. I left off talking, of course, on my subject growing up, and I left off talking about how you got to accept some hard truths if you want to grow. And that's important because in order to develop and build to bigger and better things, people are going to have to push you beyond your limits. People are going to have to challenge you to do things. And that's what I want to talk about next. Most people don't grow because they don't want to be pushed beyond their limits. They expect everybody to do it for them and they don't do nothing. You can't just grow talking about, well, I want to change my body and my career. I want to do different things. Well, that's fine. But then you got to do it. Can't nobody else do it for you. You need to grow up and understand that your biggest hindrance is the person you're looking at in the mirror. That's the person you got to conquer. That's the person you got to compete with. And you got to tell that person, no matter what, I'm going to grow up. I'm going to get bigger, better, more excellent at every single thing that I do. I decided in my mind that I was going to be the best me I could be, and I was going to beat that man in the mirror every single day. I was competing. I was growing. I was becoming stronger. I was doing it better. I was doing it in a more excellent way. I saw myself maturing and growing up. It's an amazing thing when you see people year after year and they don't grow. They stay the exactly same human beings and they don't grow at all. And that's a terrible thing. But God has designed it where we all can grow with our gifts and talents and move into bigger and better things, because growing up is necessary. I didn't say growing up was going to be easy, but growing up was going to be necessary. Because the more you grow, the more things you can handle, the bigger you can become professionally, and you can overcome many hurdles because you've grown now. It's amazing how that when you're growing up and you reach a certain age, and all those years you've been living with your parents, and you reach that age and you think you've grown, and you don't really start to have to grow or deal with things till you move out. When you move out, all of those things that your parents told you that you wouldn't grow up on, you find them coming to pass, and you start asking yourself, why didn't I learn that? Why didn't I receive that when they were saying it? Like, for instance, when I thought I was grown, I wanted to move into my own place. Oh, I was so excited when I got my own place, and I'm in my own place. The minute I rented that apartment and it's my own place, I found out there wasn't no stove in the apartment. What? Wasn't no refrigerator in the apartment. What? There was no washing machine and dryer in the apartment. So I asked the people at the apartment, well, there's no stove in here. There's no washing machine. There's no dryer. No refrigerator. They said, oh, you got to get those things yourself. We don't supply you those things. Now I had grew up, and they was always in my parents' house. I didn't know that one day I was going to need a washing machine. One day I was going to need a stove. One day I was going to need a refrigerator if I was going to be out on my own. Now they tried to tell me what it took to be out on my own, but there was some part of me that just wouldn't grow up. They told me you had to have the lights turned on. They told me that you got to do different things because you're on your own now. But it was just things in me that refused to let me grow up. And I know there's a lot of you that experiencing the same thing, that you're finding out now, stuff that you should have grew up on that would have been much easier, but because you wouldn't grow up, you got to go through the difficulties all over again. But I want to let you know there are advantages to growing up. It helps you to see things broadly. It helps you to understand that one rejection or one bad turn does not end your life, but rather it's all a part of your life. The Bible talks a lot about growth. Jesus talks a lot about people becoming disciples, becoming leaders of other people, all because growth is necessary. I believe in this year, God wants to grow all of us even more. Don't ever lose that spirit of not growing. I believe that God got so many things in store for us. He's just waiting for us to grow and mature, because growth is necessary. There are places you have not been yet, but God got them lined up for you as soon as you begin to mature and grow. And this is exciting about growing up. He's challenging us to grow every single day. Be that person that every single day you wake up, you say, I'm going to grow better than I did yesterday. I'm going to explore bigger things. I'm going to see all of the things that God got in me that I have not grown into yet. Now, my last point is when you're growing up, you need somebody to help you grow. Somebody that can talk to you outside of your own thoughts. Somebody that can challenge all the great things in you and challenge the bad things in you too. You need somebody to check you sometime and say, that's not right. You're not going to achieve great things doing that. All of that is a part of growth. What if we went to school? And school was designed, you just show up, you walk the halls all day, whatever class you want to be in or wherever you want to sit, you can do it. Nobody would ever learn anything. That's why they have rules and they have different grades designed so that first graders don't learn with second graders and second graders don't learn with high schoolers and on like that. But however, in any grade level, there's always some exceptional people that have grown up enough that I passed first grade that I can learn with the third graders. And there's some third graders that are learning with the high schoolers. And there's some high schoolers that are graduating when they should have been middle schoolers, but because they've grown, they're ready to take on different things. I'm excited about your growth. I'm excited about my growth. I am still growing. I am still striving for things that will help me grow. I read constantly. I have people challenge me constantly because I want to grow. Have people critique my work. I don't take it personally. Critique everything about me because I want to grow. Because I understand that perfection is not a stopping point. Let me say that again. Perfection is not a stopping point. The minute you think you perfected something, it moves. Excellence is not a stepping point because your excellence yesterday might not work today. It moves. It's a moving target to continue to help you strive and grow. So many times you hear stories of people who are doing extraordinary things now, but couldn't do them some years ago. And how they talk about how they decided to grow and do what was necessary for this particular craft to take them to where they want to go. Maybe they want to be a star actor or star athlete or star scientist. Does not matter. But they decided that I'm going to grow to the level that I can handle and move to where I want to be. That is what growth is all about. And that's why it's good to have someone around you to challenge you to grow, to challenge you to move on down the road, to challenge you to take on bigger and better things, because it's exciting when you grow. Now, some of you listening to me today, you need to reach out to me and say, I want you to pray for me and help me to grow up in some areas. Stop acting like a child in everything, but I want to grow. Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Tap somebody and say, I'm made for miracles. You know why God allowed things to happen to you? He want to teach you that there are about 5 people got it. He want to teach you that there are. So whatever the devil knock you back with, God said now's the time to show him that he can't keep me there. Y'all ain't talking. Now is the time to let the devil know greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
Welcome back. I know you've enjoyed Action Coaching on today, and you're growing right now. Just what I was talking about, you're beginning to grow. You can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in your mind that you're growing up, because you're not through growing in life. This is such an exciting time to grow, and I want to challenge you to keep on doing it. Now I want to take this opportunity to encourage every one of you that enjoy Action Coaching to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. We need your financial support so that we can continue reaching people all over the world with Action Coaching, so that they can get the coaching tips that you are getting each and every week. So I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering on today. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to give unto Action Coaching, and we want you to use that link and do it now. So now, we need your support so that we can help others. No amount is too large or too small. Some can sow large amounts. God has blessed you in a certain way. Some have to sow small amounts, but small don't mean it's less. Small just means this is where I'm starting, but I'm going to grow, and I'm going to give more and more because I'm growing up financially. So I want to challenge you to do that. Remember, go to the link in my bio and sow that seed on today. Well, the Lord bless you. I've certainly enjoyed talking to you. And as I do each and every week, I want to challenge you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.